Today's Dallas Cowboys report is presented by Manscaped. You can get 20% off and free shipping on all their incredible men's grooming products at manscaped.com when you use promo code Cowboys. First up, a super chat from Roger Moore. Keeping in mind the Cowboys' biggest needs, what position group has the biggest drop-off from Tier 1 to Tier 2? It's a good question. I think the center grouping of Tyler Linderbaum, everyone else is significant. It's not very good. For me, Cam Jurgens is more of a third-round guy. He could go top 75 or even be a surprise, like even earlier player. I think there's some decent day 3 value there. Guard jumps out to me because I like Kenyon Green. I like Zion Johnson. Then there's kind of Darian Kennard. And then kind of everybody else who's out there. So I'm looking at the interior offensive line that you need an instant starter up there, and it's a bit thin beyond the first couple of players. From Cool Sharky, per Broadus, this is I assume Brian Broadus' trade idea. First, fourth, and a fifth. Move to 13. Okay, so let me get the trade value chart out here. 24th overall pick plus a fourth. I assume you're also moving your first, fifth round pick. That gets you roughly to, I got it more to pick 20. That's a pretty big jump if you're moving your fourth and fifth. So I would be very surprised if that level of trade gets you up 9 spots in round 1. So I think if you're moving one of your other picks, your earlier picks, yes. If I can get a fourth and a fifth to get to 13, yeah, I'm in. That's really below value. From TSA, what do you think the Cowboys' chance of drafting a great offensive lineman is? Well, in the end, we have to give credit to the team for developing the offensive lineman. We've seen many good players get drafted and then suck because their organizations are a disaster. I think there will be really good prospects on the board. Are you going to draft your next Zach Martin, your next Travis Frederick, your next Tyron Smith? No, probably asking for a little bit too much on that front, but you should be able to get a very good player who's a multi-year starter for you. From Danny Dallas, are Josh Ball or Simi Fehoko going to help this year? It's a good question. Those two players were basically red shirts this past year. Josh Ball was hurt and was an IR stash the entire year. He had to add strength. Fehoko is a 5th-round pick versus the 4th-round pick for Josh Ball. He didn't do much of anything. And again, 5th-round pick, 4th-round pick. I don't know how much you're looking to lock yourself in for those guys being core contributors. But you're hoping that they do break out. So with that in mind, who breaks out this year for the Dallas Cowboys? Name a player you think takes a big-time step forward. I'm going to make this question the pinned comment on today's video. So if the ad break comes here on YouTube, take advantage of it. Head down there and let me know. From Dwayne Jackson, if Mike McCarthy doesn't at least reach the NFC Championship game, will Jerry Jones give the reins over to Kellen Moore, or will they try to get Sean Payton? The problem, Kellen is the head coach in waiting. Are we sure that it's Kellen who's the head coach in waiting and not Dan Quinn? Because I think Dan Quinn has a better shot of replacing McCarthy of the internal candidates that the Cowboys have on their staff. We know that Jerry liked Kellen, but the offense and Kellen Moore did not do a great job down the stretch. And I think Kellen's scheming gets a big blame for that. Jerry's always wanted Sean Payton. I feel very confident that he would try to explore that in the end. But I'd say it's probably Sean Quinn Kellen. And if they don't reach the NFC Championship game, depending on how the year goes, you want to go with an internal hire after you disappoint? Tough to pull off. From Green Candle Guy, Jerry Jones is a showman. Signed T.O. to a one-year vet min cover for Gallup in September, all for the hype. I think if it was just for the hype, they would have signed T.O. Longer ago. He's washed. A clever idea. It's funny. I'm chuckling at it, but not realistic. From Jimmy Welsh, Perion Winfrey went to my high school. What do you make of his tweet? What did Perion Winfrey tweet out now? Hold on. I know that Perion Winfrey is visiting the Dallas Cowboys. He's one of their 30 visits, which we broke down, earlier this month, I should say. Let me see if I can find his Twitter. I don't see his tweet up there, so I'm just going to assume, I didn't find it in a quick search, I'm going to assume you mean that Winfrey is visiting the Cowboys as a 30 visit. And yeah, that's kind of the plan there. That's just a good indication of there is some interest on day 2 for him. Manscaped is the presenting sponsor of today's show. You can get the Ultra Premium Collection for 20% off and free shipping when you use promo code Cowboys at manscaped.com. That link will be in the comment section and the description. Manscaped reminds everyone that it is Testicular Cancer Awareness Month, so check your balls out, make sure everything's good down there, and make sure you're feeling good about yourself overall by using Manscaped's products. 20% off and free shipping at manscaped.com when you use promo code Cowboys. King Shadow, I'm now team receiver due to the depth at guard in this draft. See, I don't think the depth's that great. That's where we disagree. So if you love the depth, then yeah, go get a receiver. I want Traylon Burks to follow us, grab Cole Strange or Ed Ingram. I want receiver at 24. Under the radar, it's not really being talked about. Ingram's got some very real character concerns that need to be vetted off the field. It's why he got suspended from LSU. So keep that in mind. I like Cole Strange, but I like Cole Strange more of like a third-ish round guy than I do second-round guy. I feel better about getting a good receiver than I do feel about getting a good guard on day 2. From Ray Cheney, I want Jordan Davis. What do you think it would cost to trade down? I assume you mean trade up, because you're not going to be able to get Jordan Davis there. Roughly speaking, your first-round pick and your third-round pick would get you up to about pick number 18. You've got a good draft relationship with Philadelphia, by the way. So you could move up in the top 20 fairly easily. Now, it's a lesser draft, so it might be a little bit less expensive. Maybe a team like the Chargers wants more picks. Wouldn't be the first thing than that to recoup their loss of their second pick for Khalil Mack. That could be possible. If you can get Jordan Davis past 14 and 15, starts to make sense to go up to get him. But he might not be there in the end. I like Jordan Davis a lot. I think if he's there, Cowboys might do it. That's why they brought him in for a 30 visit. I don't think he ends up being the pick, though. If you want free Cowboys videos every single day, like these live videos and live mailbags that we're doing, hit that big red button and subscribe, youtube.com/CowboysTV. From Bloodslinger, how funny would it be if Jerry signed Kaepernick? Never going to happen. You're right, it's never going to happen because he's not an NFL QB. It's been 5 years, 5 years old. I'm sorry, he's not good enough anymore. There'd be a lot of upset Cowboys fans. Let me just say that. Now, look, Jerry signed kneelers before. I think it'd be a bit different for Kaepernick. Plus, do we think he's better than Cooper Rush? Because I'm not sure that he is at this stage in his NFL career. From Nick S., trade for Tyler Lockett. I think I saw Blogging the Boys throw that out there. The answer is no, because the Seahawks say no. I would love him. He's an awesome football player. He brings speed and slot ability. He fits what I would love to get on this team. Here's the problem. Doesn't make sense this year. He's super cheap for the Cowboys right now. But he had an option bonus that was due to be picked up in February. And by all indications, the Seahawks did pick that up. Now, if they didn't, this number changes. But as of right now, trading away Tyler Lockett would incur a $28.2 million cap charge. Almost double what he's counting against the Seahawks cap right now. So, yes, they could trade him. The cost to make them eat that money this year is so exorbitant, nobody would offer it for Lockett. Now, if they didn't pick up the option bonus, which I'm pretty sure that they did, depending on which site you look at in terms of the money side of it, that means it's only like an additional $5 million on their salary cap. So that is still not a very likely outcome for the Dallas Cowboys when it's all said and done. So, knowing that the number stuff gets weird sometimes, name a player who you guys want to trade for. I'm going to ask you to keep it realistic. I know not all of you will. It's okay. So let me know in the comments section. All right, from Chava. Okay, Chava it is, my friend. Again, I'm sorry. That's a tough one for me to pronounce. We need a strong left guard or left tackle to protect Dak Prescott. Hope we draft good players. I agree. That's kind of why I want to sign a guard too, so I can just draft the best player on the board. Your offense, the root of your offense's issues last year was the offensive line was bad down the stretch. Like it wasn't always just one player, but it was just like, okay, this time my center messed up play. This time it was my left guard. Then it was my right tackle. My right guard and left tackle, my future Hall of Famers, they were missing plays too, which is really unusual for them. The entire offensive line got out of sorts once they benched Connor Williams, and even when they went back to him, it was never quite right again in the end. That is a significant red flag there for the Cowboys. But the O-line was bad. Teams were like, we're going to play two-eye shell. Run the football. We dare you. And they couldn't run the football. I don't want to run the football except when teams dare me to. And you needed to be able to run the football down the stretch last year. And in light boxes, you just couldn't get it done. So the root of your causes was the offensive line. All right, from Mark, my boy, any truth to the Cowboys signing ex-Pitt Pro Bowl guard? I believe this is in reference to Trey Turner, which we actually broke down on our Rumors video. It was an idea floated out there. I don't hate it, but he's a right guard. I don't know if you want a right guard with Zach Martin over there, if you might be looking for a left guard instead. Now, the NFC East, as many of you have said before, is not great. So who is the biggest threat to win the NFC East this year? Is it C for the Commie Commanders, E for the Eagles, or G for the Giants? Let me know right now in the comments section. From Justin, Tom, what about TJ Vasher? Should we play him more? I know we got Red Raider fans. Dallas Cowboys, Texas school, I get it. You cannot count on him because he was an undrafted free agent who didn't do anything last year because he was an injury stash. So I'm hoping he balls out in the preseason, but I'm not going to commit to anything to Vasher beyond that right now because that's not a great process of doing it for your young receivers. You got Simi Fehoko in there as well. Alan Williams, what would you trade to get DK Metcalf on Dallas now that we stupidly traded away Cooper? I don't know, but I really want him on the Cowboys. Yeah, I would love the awesome receiver too, Alan. I agree. I think the cost is similar-ish to that of Davante Adams, Tyreek Hill. We broke that down on a previous video this week, Alan. You're looking at a first and second-ish, probably a little bit more to get him. Cap ain't going to do that, nor is he going to pay the premium to then sign DK Metcalf to a long-term deal.